So today, after a year in the pit, we're going to find out if this little probe survived. Welcome back to the barbecue test pit. I'm Craig. If this is your first time here, this is where we review barbecue grilling accessories, rubs, recipes, sauces, seasonings, and everything else like that. So this little probe's been through hell and back this year. It survived hundreds of hours searing steaks on the grill, boiling oil, hundreds of hours smoking brisket and pork, and more recharges than I can count. A little over a year ago, ThermoWorks came out with their RFX wireless meat probe. They are the masters behind the Thermapen ONE, and they said that this thing will go through offsets. You're not going to lose signal. 24 to 48 hour charges on a single probe, and you could basically do whatever you want with this thing. So today, after about a little over a year, we're going to find out if they were right and if this couple $100 probe survived. If you like honest barbecue reviews, real tests, rubs, recipes, click subscribe. So this isn't a first impression video. This is a 1 year survival test. Let's get to it. Hundreds of hours on this thing, and I'm going to give you all the pros and cons of what I think of it and if it's worth the money or not. So I ordered this back when they first came out with it, and it was on, it was a pre-order or whatever, and the pre-orders got held up. It took a bit longer. They made some changes and stuff before they released it, which is great because this company, everything I have from them has been absolutely fantastic. They're not paying me to say this. They're not sponsoring this review. This is all done on my own accord. So I ordered the RFX Gateway. This is the module with 4 probes, and each probe comes with its own little charging base, and you're supposed to be able to charge them in matters of minutes. So you get the Gateway. When I ordered this, I ordered the Gateway with the 4 charging probes, and each probe comes with its own little charging base, and they are magnetic on the back. So you can stick these to anything. You can stick them to the side of your offset. You can stick them to your heater. You can stick them to your pellet grill. You can stick them on your toolbox while they're charging when you're not using them. And the Gateway is also magnetic. Since ThermoWorks is such a great company and their deliveries were delayed, they did throw in a sweet little case as a bonus for me. And I put this thing through hell. The first smoke I think I did was a pork putt. Everything worked just as it said. I mean, these things are built rugged. They're nice. They're waterproof. So what did I put this through this year? I've smoked briskets, turkeys, pork butts, ribs, grilled steaks, seared steaks, sous vide steaks, deep fried chicken, deep fried turkeys. This thing's been through it all. Did it hold up? Hell yeah, it did. This still works great to this day, each and every one of these. I've had a few issues here and there. One, I couldn't get this to charge right when I first got it. I was using my Signals charger. I tried my Google phone charger. I tried everything like that, and they forgot to send me the charger with it. So what they did was they accidentally sent me a probe charger back. Then they let me keep it and instantly got me the correct adapter out right away for it. So I was able to charge my RFX up again. Now what this has also, it has a side port here where you can plug in a temperature air probe, so you can also monitor your grate temperature from your grills. I know I have a Big Green Egg. It just has a dome temperature on it, and that sometimes could be 20 to 30 degrees off on the grate temperature. So if you're cooking something indirect like a brisket or a pork butt on a Big Green Egg and you think you're at 225, your grate temperature might be at 250, 260, and that radiant heat can come off and burn your brisket or your pork butt or your ribs or whatever you're cooking on there. So having the great temperature, knowing that you're at 225 degrees or 275 degrees is a really big bonus, I think, on this probe. Another thing you get with these is a little baggie of different silicone rings. And when you're in the app, these rings just slide right over the probe. And you can know you got your red steak, your blue steak, your yellow steak. So you might want this one at a 135 degree steak, and this person might like theirs like beef jerky and want theirs at 145. So you set that in the app, and it tells you when your steak is ready to come off, so you can pull off the steak that's going to be eaten properly when it's ready. And then this one you don't have to worry about because they want it overcooked anyway. So even if you don't pay attention to when this alarm goes off, they're still going to like their steak because it's going to be like eating a shoe. But if you're cooking multiple items, like a pork butt that you want to wrap at 170, or you want to check it once it gets to 160, and your brisket you want to check at 160, you know what probe is what because you can label each one of them. Even in the app, you could write brisket. You could have 3 briskets on there. I've done it. Middle brisket, left brisket, right brisket. That way I know where everything's at when it's cooking. The distance that they say this thing works, this is not Bluetooth. It does have Bluetooth on it, but they use radio waves. So they claim 1,500 feet of distance. That I do not find to be very accurate in most situations. I've had lots of cooks where my probes are not reading in the app, and this is 15, 30 feet away. I've also had this thing stuck right to my pellet grill, a couple 2-3 feet from the probe that's inside my pellet grill, and not getting temperature readings. But I've also been at the grocery store buying more beer and things like that, and can go right on my app and still see the temperature for the most part. It's not often that you're not getting readings. All I've had to do was take my gateway and kind of just touch it to the probe while it's still on the smoker, and most of the time it reconnects. But other than that, the connection is outstanding. It goes through my Big Green Egg, which is a really thick 1-inch ceramic. My pellet smoker is a Yoder YS640. It's also a lot thicker steel than a lot of smokers that you might see, like the Traegers and the Pit Bosses and things like that. It goes right through plastic tub in a vacuum sealed bag while you're sous videing. It goes right through a turkey fryer pit while you're deep frying turkeys, and through my S&S kettle grill lid. Never had a problem indirect cooking after searing steaks, moving them to the side, letting them come to temp in the grill. The signal strength for the most part is awesome. You can also set these in the app to how long you want the battery to last. If you're doing a long, slow cook, say a brisket or a pork butt, and you know you're going to be on there 12, 14, 16, 18 hours, you just have this read the temperature every 3 degrees to refresh in your app. So it saves you battery life, and it's not draining your battery down. But if you're doing a steak or whatever, you could change that setting to 1 degree, so that 1 degree, every time you're getting that 1 degree where it's critical in a cook like that, or on a chicken breast or something, you have your meat off in time and you're not overcooking it. The battery life on these things, they claim, is 50 hours in a 10-minute charge, 60 hours, I believe, in a 20-minute charge. I've had some last that long. Well, I've never had them go that long without being charged, but I've had some cooks go 22, 23 hours, and that wasn't the probe's fault. That was just bad, just a really cold weather and a metal pellet grill that I was using my cook off of the internal probe on the pellet grill instead of using the great air temp probe that is available to hook up to the RFX gateway, which taught me a very valuable lesson, because I thought, I'm cooking at 275 because that's what my pellet grill says. But when I stick my gateway in there and I put the air temp sensor on my grate and hook it up and everything, I noticed that my grate temp is actually only 190 degrees. So that's a big swing in temperature that caused me a lot of extra time smoking. But it didn't affect the battery. Like, it made it through the whole smoke without having to be charged. On the other hand, I've been smoking things for 4 or 5 hours on a fully charged probe, and the battery is a low battery. So that's another benefit of having 4 of these, or 2 of these if you're just cooking for yourself or you're not cooking too much. I don't recommend buying just the single gateway with 1 probe. You should definitely have 2 on hand so you have a backup if you need to charge one. The battery life on these fluctuates tremendously. I haven't figured out what actually, besides the temperature settings, the 3 degree and the 1 degree readings, I haven't figured out what makes them go faster. I boiled a turkey. I mean, granted, that was less than an hour, but it was still basically a full green battery charged in the app when you looked at the probe when it was done frying at 350, 375 degrees. So I don't know if the temperature matters that much, but I guess it's only 350 degrees. So if you're just cooking normally at 350 degrees or smoking at 275 or even 300 degrees, maybe that's not going to affect it as much as searing a steak at 700 degrees, 1,000 degrees. I'm not sure if the battery life is affected by heat. One thing too is when you have these rings on your probes, they still fit in the charger, so they can still charge. There is a little blinking light red when it's charging. It goes away when it's fully charged. These I don't like. I do not like these. I like them because they're portable. Throw them in your bag, throw them in your pocket, magnetic, stick them on something. But I go through AAA batteries. I have my kit here. I have 5 left out of a 48 pack that I bought at the beginning of the summer. These things just suck down batteries. I don't know what it is, if I'm doing something wrong or what, but I change the batteries in these, I feel, once a week. I don't know how many times you're supposed to be able to charge off of them, or if I should be putting the probes back in them every time, but they're never charged. They're always, I'm always replacing the battery in one of them. And it doesn't tell you when the battery needs to be replaced. What I did find out, though, is this little red light here that tells you when it's charging. When you take it out, every time you put it back in, it'll start flashing again. I think it blinks a lot faster when the docking station is low on battery. I wish that they would have put in a USB port or something in here so that you could charge these by USB and not have to constantly have to replace the batteries in here. Just use the batteries as a backup charging solution if needed in an emergency situation. It is screwed in with the screwdriver, or a screw here holding it in. So I do recommend always keeping a little tiny screwdriver. You just got to have your screwdriver. You got to be able to replace these batteries, because I don't know what's going on with them, but these things love to eat the life out of your battery. They need constant replacement. Another thing with these little probes is the durability is remarkable on them. I've dropped these. They're dishwasher safe. They're deep fryer safe. They're safe to they say 1,000 degrees on the grill, which I've seared. I think I seared my tomahawk. I have close to 1,200 degrees, and this is right in the flames. I mean, you're going to get some discoloration on the ends, but that's just going to be from, it's smoke. Anything's in your smoker, it's going to acquire that smoke coloring to it. I'm sure if you really cared that much, you could scrape this off with some steel wool or whatever, but I don't want to ruin the patina that these gained over the last year. It's a remarkable, highly accurate. So these things are highly accurate, and it's a remarkable tool. So I'm going to go ahead and open the ThermoWorks app. I'm going to go ahead, open the ThermoWorks app, turn on the gateway. Connects almost instantly to Wi-Fi. Light screen connected. And I'm just going to plug in the air probe. Just have it sit here and reading the air temperature. My phone says it is 38 outside. Have to enable it. You can also disable that probe when you're not using it, if you're not using it. However, now I'm just going to grab one of these probes, and this one is saying it's 54 out here. My air temp is 46 now. Refresh my. Also says it's raining here. So this one is a probe that's been in the charger, but yet my battery's dead. I did actually have to replace the battery. It was probably this one before I started this video, so this one might just be charging the whole time right now. So I'm going to use a different probe there, and I have my Thermapen ONE here in a glass of ice water. I'm going to show you the accuracy here. So I'll just drop that in there. So the Thermapen ONE's reading 35 degrees. Probe's in there, and probe's in there at 34.4. So that is the accuracy that you're getting with a ThermoWorks, with any ThermoWorks product. I have their signals, I have their Thermapen ONE, I have refrigerator thermometers from them. They are a fantastic product, a fantastic company, and some of the best customer service I've ever dealt with in my life when you just have a troubleshooting question or any type of issue like that with your product. They're always there for you. So one thing that we didn't look at here. So then you just go back in the app, and that's telling you my great temp, which is 43.9, because it doesn't feel like 38 out here. I don't know where my weather app gets their weather from, but so besides the charging on these things, this battery life is outstanding on this. The accuracy, the durability, the all-around universal usage of this product is remarkable. The quality of the product, the quality of everything along with the product, not just the probe itself, but this is heavy It's not heavy, but you could tell it's made of good, strong plastic. It'll withstand drops. I melted it here. The magnetic system to stick on things is everything ThermoWorks provides is a high quality, built to last, built to perform product. You might say, oh, well, they put a wire in there. Who cares? Like I don't care if there's a wire in there. I keep my gateway right next to whatever unit I'm cooking on at the time. And I appreciate the wire probe thermometer over a battery thermometer. This thing battery has not failed me. These have. So I know if I'm doing a 24-hour cook, if I'm doing a 40-hour cook, which I don't know what I would cook for that long, but if I was, and I have my probe connected in here on my grate, I could set an alarm for that probe. If my grate goes below a certain temperature or above a certain temperature, I could set that alarm to go off my phone and alert me. I don't use anything on my Big Green Egg. I just been doing it for so long. I know that I could keep that grill for 18 hours at 225, 250, 275, whatever degree I want. I can keep that grill at for as long as I want. But I don't know how long the charcoal is going to last all the time. So this wired grate thermometer is, I think, the best they could have done and way better than a wireless probe as a great air temp monitor, because you don't have to worry about the battery dying when you're doing a cook. On the probes, it's not going to hurt you that much. I don't think your battery is going to die cooking a steak or a chicken breast, and you're going to have plenty of time. These batteries have been dead, alerting me in the red, 10% left, no battery left, and I've still got 3 hours out of them without putting them on the charger really quick or taking them out of my meat or anything like that. So it might just say it's a full battery or a dead battery, but it might say that for 16 hours. I don't know. I haven't made it that far. I didn't do a full battery test on these. I just know what I've experienced with the battery life when using it. So you've seen a little bit of the app. It's nothing sexy. It's not pretty. It's just straight up no frills. It does what it's supposed to do. You name your probe. I'm cooking turkey breast on this one. I'm cooking pork butt on this one. I'm cooking a brisket on this one. I got a pork belly on this one. Name it. Name your cooking session on your gateway if you want to track all that stuff. You don't have to, but you want to know how long it took you to cook Labor Day ribs. You're going to know how long it took you to cook Labor Day ribs if you want to go back and then if you want to go back and see, so you know how to prepare for the upcoming next year's cookout. If you don't know how long it took you to do your pork butts on 4th of July, go back and look, and that way you know, oh, should I start them a little bit earlier, or did I start them too early? If you are a pit master that want best of the best, no frills apps, no fancy anything like that, is this probe right for you? Absolutely. This is everything it needs to be and more, and nothing it doesn't need to be. If you're just a casual cook that wants to go into the backyard and throw on a chicken breast or whatever, is this right for you? The easy to use app, no frills, the wire, it's probably going to annoy you. Don't get it. But if you're serious about cooking and you want the best, this is by far the way to go for wireless probes. They are accurate, dependable, durable, and besides a little bit of the battery issue and the charging issue with this thing, there is nothing that I would change about these. So if you're looking for a thermometer that's going to provide you peace of mind, accuracy, great customer support, durability, and just outperform anything you could get on the market, this is your go-to. It is well worth the money. Buy the 4-pack, buy the 2-pack. I wouldn't tell you to get the 1-pack, 1 probe. Definitely get dual probes or more. You can always add on later if you don't buy them all in the beginning, but it's better to have than to not have, in my opinion. So if you want the best of the best, I highly recommend getting this. So I'm going to drop the links to the RFX Gateway and the Meat Probe package in the description below, as well as a link to the Thermapen ONE and the signals. This is not an affiliate link. I do not get paid if you order anything off there. I can give 2 shits if you click the link or not, but it's there if you need it. If this review helped you or helped you make a decision in any way, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification button so you know when all my other recipe reviews and accessory reviews come out. And check out my game day playlist, and I'll see you over there.